everyone, and welcome to another week of This Week on Eorzea, the Final Fantasy XIV news show starring me and Pyra.
Hello. Happy
No
Monday.
adjective. No adjective
No
this
adjectives.
time.
None today. None needed.
We can't afford adjectives. Moving on. How's everyone doing? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm hanging in there for a Monday. How are you doing, Debbie?
Yeah, it's fine for a Monday. I have that vibe.
Monday.
It's a Monday vibe. We do have some news this week, so we can move straight into it. Of course, the first news is the news we wanted to give last week, but didn't get a chance to. Moogle Treasure Trove. Moogle event.
They're trying to push this later and later to miss the podcast. Like I swear they're doing this the day after, just like, oh, great.
Yeah, no. Like clockwork. Every time. Moogle Treasure Trove announced the day after. It starts tomorrow, July 8th, and runs to the release of patch 7.3, which is, if we're doing our math correctly, August 5th, as predicted. Because these almost always, without fail, run for exactly 4 weeks. So, we are seeking allegory. And as we have become accustomed, why did it not switch my screen? As we have become accustomed, the Mogpendium is going to be our source of information for the Moogle Trove. We got a little Scion teacup earring as the 100 tome reward this time.
Caffeine addictors? Caffeine addiction, folks. Wow. This is me being very tired. Yeah. Coffee lovers rejoice. How about that?
There you go.
A little bit better.
Huzzah! Honestly, I like it. I don't know. All the little minion earrings were starting to look the same, you know?
Yeah.
And this is something that looks decidedly different.
They're always so goofy too. I love it. Like I love how just like it's just a little thing. Like it's so tiny, however, like you feel special if you got that like the 100 tome piece.
I like how it says here, please note that it may take up to 10 minutes after the stated time for the event to commence in-game. So if you're like sitting there at 1 a.m. just waiting for it to start. Yeah, so check the Mogpendium. It's got the standard weekly Minimog and Ultimog challenges. So the Ultimog is kind of you can do it once per event to get a set reward. The Minimog and weekly, the weekly you can do weekly. The Minimog is also weekly?
It is also weekly, yeah. They're also weekly, but it's kind of a different category of things. It's very similar. It's kind of funny how they're like, this is almost the same thing.
Exactly. And the standard ones are just kind of random stuff. You can go into your duty finder and see the little Moogles that tell you it rewards Moogle tomes. This also includes gates and PvP. So if, like me, you haven't completed your PvP series this time around yet, which is coming to an end at the end of the event, this is a great way to get those PvP rewards and Moogle tomes.
And ocean fishing routes too, remember?
Yes.
So if you are a fisherman, be the best bet.
You must score at least 2,000 points while ocean fishing to be awarded tomestones. And I think max is for 8,000, but it's incredibly doable. Incredibly doable. And Minimog can be completed once a week. Yeah, we were right.
Yep.
And it kind of switches up. Like it's got hunts on here, it's got triple triad, it's got fishing, it's got treasure hunting. It will give you one. I love
the Minimog actually gives you 2, and you have
two
to
options.
Do
oh, right.
So
like it'd be
that
triple
is the
triad
difference.
or
Yeah. Weekly you get 1. You do that, you have no other options. Where Minimog, they at least give you like an either or.
Yeah, complete one of the 2 objectives to be awarded a regular tombstone. I remember the last event they had to like, one was catch a particular fish and the other one was like win a hand of triple triad against a particular NPC. And I chose not the fishing one.
What?
I was so scared and confused, but the triple triad one seemed way faster because it was a timed fish and everything. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go win triple triad.
Wow. Miracles do happen. No.
Right. So we will find out tomorrow what the Ultimog challenge is. Make sure to go into your Mogpendium and claim those rewards as you win them. And yeah. So we've got the coffee cup earring, which is the 100, an equestrian roll, a demon brick earring. I don't know, was that a previous 100 one? I don't remember it as being one.
I don't remember if I'm quite honest. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The ruby gwibber. The iron frog mover. Now, that's from the fates in Kalusia, right?
Correct. Yep. Yeah. That is the type of item too that, like, if you haven't gotten that mount, this is your best chance of getting the mount, because trying to get people to do that fate 2 expansions later, forget it. It's going to be very difficult. So like this is a good opportunity for folks who maybe came in the game late or never had the opportunity. It's a good time to do it.
No, absolutely. The Girabanian plate is actually a kind of sought after hairstyle. It's like the big ponytail with the braid on it. It sells for quite a bit. Now, that being said, the price is going to tank a little bit with this event. But I know a couple of people are planning on getting 1 or 2 just to hold on to for when the market rebounds. The ephemeral necromancer minion. I don't even think I have this one.
I don't know if I have that one either, if I'm honest. Though I also have so many minions, it's woof.
The machinist barding. Now this was I want to say Eureka or Boja? Boja? It was the one that had all the job bardings?
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I just googled it quick. Firmament.
The firmament. Oh, okay.
Firmament. It was either Skybuilder scripts or Faith presence.
Oh, Fets. Yeah. Feats, fate. Okay, chat. Feats, fates, Fets. One of those. It depends on what language you speak, apparently.
True.
Pastoral dot parasols. Of course, they've got the MGP cards. And then these are all the tribal quest mounts for A Realm Reborn. They've got furniture items, as always. Neo-ish Guardian stuff. Which actually looks really cool. They've got the Moonfire stuff.
Yeah, just in time for the summer.
Yeah. And then, of course, they always have the guaranteed portal maps. But the highest level they have is the 90s. Unless I'm wrong. No. The highest level they have is still the 90s. Yeah. Yeah. Some triad cards. The unknown god. And then just these like tiny things that you use your 1s and 2s on.
Yeah.
They like always throw something in there that's like worth 1 or whatever. So if you have like a tome left over, you can spend it on something.
This reminds me of I don't know if you grew up with arcades, but like certain arcades around me, it was like if they were the ticketed ones, the 1s and 2s would be like a Tootsie Roll. So if you had like 1 ticket, you could get like a piece of candy, like the little like pity prizes. So like if you didn't get this big thing, you get a tiny little candy treat. Yeah.
Aww. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. I am definitely going to participate because, like I said, I need my PvP done. Gates is probably still the best way to do it. Doing the Mogpendium is the best way to do it. But once you've done your weekly challenges, then hanging out in the gold saucer in between doing other things, you can get quite a bit of Moogle tomes.
Yeah.
Well worth it. Yeah. Forked Tower. So this is just the other bit of news. We got this letter from Yoshida personally. So for anyone who watched last week's episode, this was exactly the thing we were talking about that wasn't happening. And then the very next day it goes and happens. Wait, what can we say? Maybe he was watching. Hi, Yoshi. We can only hope. Right. So he talked about the live letter he had where he talked about the things that were kind of wrong with the Occult Crescent Fork Tower specifically, and came up with what they were going to do to fix it, and then implemented a couple of these things pretty much right away, like the next day. So now, as part of this emergency maintenance, so as of this, the ability to enter the Occult Crescent instance with a preformed alliance of up to 48 players is in effect, and allowing mirages to generate sooner after the instance has been loaded. And then there's some other things that they're going to work on with 7.3 to further enhance this. But those changes happened immediately. And
yeah, I think they did.
Yeah, go ahead.
Emergency hotfix,
Yeah,
which it was that urgent that they considered it an emergency hotfix. So I was kind of shocked by that. I figured they would have done some hotfix, but they kind of like put it in right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then ongoing, they're going to make improvements to the Cypher offering UI, and they're going to delay Mirage generation until after a critical encounter has ended. And then eventually they're going to enable exclusive access to the Occult Crescent instance for a set time when joining with a preformed alliance. So the way it's going to end up is if you can join with a preformed alliance, you can get a Mirage sooner after the instance forms, and you have some exclusivity there as a preformed alliance. So it's going to allow people who are joining for the intent of Fork Tower Prog to be able to do that without any barriers, essentially.
I mean, that's honestly great, especially because I don't even remember what the numbers were, but didn't they say that it was like a very low number of people who had actually cleared the content so far?
Well, they said that it had been cleared in like that 3-week period 400 times. But without any comparable data, I don't know how to disseminate that. Like, how many times was Delubrum Regine Savage cleared in the first 3 weeks? I don't know. Like, was it much higher than that? Like, I would need some other data for it to make sense to me.
Yeah.
But for maybe people who have that context, or maybe people who have been trying to clear, that might be a figure that's like, oh, okay. I was actually wanting to look it up today, but I didn't have the opportunity while working. It's like, I wonder how many times, like some of these other, like Beldessian Arsenal, how many times was that cleared in the first 3 weeks?
Right.
Like, you just, if I had something to compare it to, I think it would make more sense.
Definitely fair. Yeah.
But yeah, they predicted it to be updated Thursday, July 3rd, or as soon as possible, and it happened Thursday, July 3rd. So it's been fixed. I don't know. We are 3 for 3 right now with regard to what we were talking about last week
know.
and what has happened on the Lodestone since then. So, what
Yeah,
can we
I
say?
mean, maybe if we keep talking about it, I don't know. Maybe somebody's watching. We can only hope.
So there you have it. Yeah, we knew Fork Tower was a problem. Yoshi addressed it personally and fixed it right away. What more could we have asked for? Nothing.
$1 million. Or nothing, actually.
Yeah, I mean $1 million would be nice, yeah.
I mean,
as for anything else on the Lodestone, the only thing they really have up is the letter from the producer live.
Translation? Is it the official translation?
Translation?
Yeah.
Yeah, has been posted. So if you want to, on the forums. Oh my god. Yeah, this is a very detailed translation.
Yeah, it typically takes them a while for because the translations that we see and we showed on the podcast, those are the
fan-made ones.
Real time fan made ones where this is like the official forum and they're actually going in, and I'm sure they have to verify everything that was said by at least multiple people to make sure that they're not making any statements that are not fully true.
Yeah, exactly. So if you wanted to read pretty much a direct translation of everything they said during the live letter, that is now available on the Lodestone. I might actually take a read through it to see if it was maybe a translation issue with a couple of things that did sort of rub me wrong, but
yeah,
you can see. Okay. Anything else newsy?
Not that I have seen. I feel like this was kind of those big 3 things were the ones we were talking about, and then of course going into our hot topic soon. Anime Expo happened.
Yes. Did you see anything of that personally? Like in I don't know.
I saw so I saw a lot of people who I follow on Instagram and other social platforms, they posted some of their photos of the con. So that's kind of the only parts I've seen was just bits and pieces of people at the convention going around, trying the different things, the cosplay, stuff like that.
Yeah, so I mean, they had a cosplay event that Yoshi and FoxClon personally kind of crashed here. I've seen some pictures. This is one of them, obviously, but I mean, they were having a great time. Everyone was having a great time. What do we see? We see Emrich's sword. The back of a Chloe.
Of course, there's a Graha. There's what I believe is a Ishtola in the bathing suit outfit, kind of like their poster.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Vieiras. Multiple Vieiras, of course. Tsukiyomi? I think that's a Tsukiyomi.
Oh, right there. Yeah. No, and he just had a fun time. Everything I read, people who got to talk with him personally, people who got things signed from him or saw him at the booth or whatever, they all just really had nothing but good things to say. He's no matter what you think of the game, no matter what issues you have, he's one of those people that face to face is very charismatic, and you can't help but feel just happy in his presence is what I hear.
Yeah.
But Anime Expo was focused hardcore on him as the guest of honor, guest speaker.
He was their guest speaker. Yeah, I think he was kind of their big guest speaker, something like that for the entire show. So I'm sure that was a very jam-packed panel.
Yeah, so I have slides here from the panel we can take a look at, kind of what he said, what he shared, and what people thought. These are clearly, are they illegal photos? I mean, everyone's holding up little cameras, so I mean, they're probably pretty lax about it, but
I think they live streamed it too, so I don't think any of this was like embargo or yeah. I love how the comment was for the next 75 minutes you are stuck with my hyperfixation.
Right. So he kind of took the opportunity to talk about the things that have shaped where he is now and inspired him. Which is really awesome. Talking about kind of, in his 30s he was still a teenager inside. And in his 40s and onward still making games. No, like how old he is now, but he's more than 40.
I'm sure he brushes over that topic a little bit, like
right. So yeah, he started his career in '93 at Hudson Soft. Like OG Bomberman. 93. I was was still a kid. So Yoshi P is older than I am.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you want me to answer that question.
Maybe not.
I was alive.
Oh, okay. At least you were alive. There you go.
I was alive.
The first title he worked on was the canceled Far East of Eden, not the PS2 title that was later released. So he created All Town Dialogue, created event scripts, became the lead event scripter. And for Bomberman 64, The Second Attack, he was director. So story mode director, scripted all events, created all scenarios, level design for all stages, wrote all messages, planning for all boss battle. He basically did this entire game. As a result, he gained 40 pounds.
Valid. Totally valid.
That little sticker right up there, I don't know if you can see it on the screen. That is an N64 sticker.
Oh, yeah. Yup.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I still have mine. I know exactly what that looks like.
And in early 2005, he joined Square Enix. So he's been with Square Enix, like, I guess over 20 years.
20 years? Yeah, 20 years now. Wow.
Did a couple of Dragon Quests. Well, it looks like exclusively Dragon Quests up until 14 and then 16. I don't remember Dragon Quest 10. I played a lot of 11. He was influenced by Combatler 5, which began airing in April 1976 and was 54 episodes. I did not see this when it came out.
Yeah,
five vehicles combine into a giant fighting robot, and it's a story about 5 young pilots. Is this what Power Rangers was based on? This might have been what Power Rangers was based on.
I was gonna say, that sounds exactly like Power Rangers.
Yeah. His first crush was Stasha from Space Battleship Yamato. Have you seen this?
I have not, but it's just the fact that he's admitting his first crush was a anime. It's classic Yoshi.
It's on brand. It's on brand.
It's so on brand. Yoshi has a type.
He has a type. His Galaxy Express 999. It was the first movie to make him cry.
Oh. He's a type, so that's why we'll never not have Ishtola. Got it.
There you go. Influenced by Kamen Rider and Ultraman. Yeah. Yoshi P trying to stress he wasn't just a shut-in. Oh yeah, he also played various sports between early childhood to early adolescence.
I love the
Me
clip
too.
art. Like the very
Right.
generic clip art / like stock photos.
Yeah, stock photos and clip art. I also played various sports between early childhood and early adolescence because they made me in school. But he does love to snowboard. So there are now some rumors going on that that might influence the FanFest schedule to be somewhere near a mountain in the winter.
Ooh.
So,
well, New England has those Yoshi P. I invite you.
yeah, so Yoshi P likes to snowboard. He'd love to check out some spots to do so in the US.
Very nice.
Yoshi P expressed his shock that they even let you into AX if you haven't watched Gundam. Orders everyone to do so.
Valid.
I have seen some Gundam. Do you think there might have been some of this in, do you think there might have been some of this in 14?
Just a smidge.
Just a smidge. Yup.
It's all making sense.
Especially, I did a tour around this past week, the completed moon base. And yeah, it is. Yeah. He begged his father, please buy me a goof. Goof.
Papa.
To my disappointment, he brought home a Zoc.
I don't know enough about this, but I could just I feel the pain as the kid who wanted Pokemon and got like dollar store brand of off-brand Pokemon. I'm like, what's this? This isn't Pokemon.
You have Goof at home. Yeah. Thus, Gundam caught me a little lesson about reality that day. Talking a lot about Gundam. He has like this miscellaneous image of other influences, including Dragon Ball Z. Okay, I feel inclined to share this right now. My first website / forum I created online was a Dragon Ball Z fandom.
Nice.
So I was there. That's Robotech, I think.
Oof. I truthfully don't recognize the other ones. Dragon Ball Z though was my first anime. Like if you consider it anime, which I guess you kind of That was my first, right before Sailor Moon. But that one was the one I was glued to as a kid.
See, my first was original Dragon Ball. And then when Dragon Ball Z came out, I'm like, thanks, I hate this. And I refused to watch it. For a few years until it finally was like, okay, I get it. I can do this.
How else did we get over 9,000?
Some movies that inspired him. Some manga that inspired him. Those are like Ghibli films.
Studio Ghibli, I think.
Yeah.
That's a really cool comparison of the photos.
Right?
Got the same energy.
Yeah, they're like they're putting them side by side for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, art imitates art, right? Or life imitates art. Or either way.
There you go.
It all comes back. Right?
Movies.
Lethal.
There's some E.T. That's like Rocky.
Is that Rocky? I think so. It's hard to tell from here.
Mm-hmm.
That's Sandlot? No. What is that one?
Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was.
That's definitely
that
like
guy.
Rocky. If it's not Rocky, it's very similar to like it's.
Isn't it the guy that shoots things?
Debbie, there's a lot
Rambo?
of both.
No.
Rambo. I think. I think.
I don't know. I don't know.
Half
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm gonna get canceled saying half these movies are the same.
Yeah. I would rather they not reboot Back to the Future, and that's all I will say unless I get into a rant. Oh, so if you want to get Yoshi ranting, talk about Back to the Future. Early adulthood.
Ooh. Batman, Matrix, nice.
There's a lot of like North American content on here. I'm surprised, honestly. I mean, I know it was popular enough that it would have been translated, but still, quite a bit. The Matrix trilogy, the Batman trilogy.
I wonder if that's the time where like a lot of the like the culture kind of like American culture like bled, or the North American culture kind of like bled over.
Evangelion. That became popular everywhere, I think. He has watched every title. He shares like a little creepy story here about being parked outside his house at 3 a.m. and he's stuck in a car with an Eva fan who won't let him out until they like talk about Evangelion, and he hadn't even seen it yet. And so he just wanted to get out and go to bed, but this guy wouldn't let him.
Bro, I haven't even seen it yet.
Yeah, right. He has not talked with that old coworker in 30 years.
Oh no.
I just like imagine seeing this and knowing you're that person and you haven't talked to this guy in 30 years, but now he's telling everyone at Anime Expo. It's like, thanks, dude. Thanks.
Oh, Yoshi P, the new Taylor Swift. T Swift. And nothing did Yoshi P.
He likes One Piece.
Hardcore. Analytical One Piece otaku. Okay.
Wow. I will not rest until I've seen the finale of One Piece.
I will not rest.
He says he implores the writer to consider his health. Doesn't want him to die before he finishes.
Jesus.
Oh man. He enjoys movies directed by Christopher Nolan.
Okay.
I think I personally have just seen The Dark Knight. I know of these other ones, they're big, but I'm not a huge movie watcher. Have you seen them?
I've seen all but Tenet. I've seen Interstellar and I've seen Inception and Dark Knight, and I mean, I agree. I'm not a huge movie person anymore. I say I was until like my mid to late 20s. But yeah, I mean that's a solid, like, those movies feel like cinema. Like it feels like impactful, like rounded cinema. So I can dig it.
Okay.
I mean, Dark Knight is also like the best Batman movie, pretty much. Don't at me. So
he says the amount of influence these movies have had on me is immeasurable, and he watches every film 2 to 3 times a year.
Okay.
He just really likes these movies.
I'm gonna get one of the Inception.
Okay.
Is it Inception where the button is like blah? I'm gonna get one of those blah buttons and give it to him if I ever get to meet him.
Okay, so if this was a Pyra panel, what set of movies would you feature here?
Oh my gosh. Oh lordy. If I had to pick off the top of my head, now this is like I'm gonna get it wrong, and I'm gonna think about it like so many years, months later. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Instant classic. I haven't watched it in years, but that shaped, I think, a lot of like my comedy and my like. Even though I was a kid, I started getting into the adult comedy probably way too young, and that definitely framed it, shaped it, pushed it.
I remember that movie just being scary as a kid.
I loved that movie so much. I still love that movie so much. Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice will always be one. I feel like that's another timeless classic. Oh lordy. I'm trying to think of what else, if I'm quite honest. And this is where being on the spot hurts. Nightmare Before Christmas is cheesy as that sounds. It was always a special one that I watched with my folks all the time. And if I had to pick one last one that's more of when I became an adult, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I rock with a good Scott Pilgrim any day of the week.
Fair enough. I've got 2 words: Mel Brooks and Monty Python. That's like me in a nutshell. That's my humor. That's my style. Those things. I quote those movies like any Mel Brooks movie or any Monty Python skit like multiple times a day, if not, you know.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. Influential games from his early childhood to early adulthood. Oh, that Street Fighter.
Yes.
Tactics Ogre. Oh, man. Yeah. Dragon Quest. Oh, that's like OG Dragon Quest.
Sheesh.
Whoa. And there's some like just Nintendo side scroller action going on there.
Loving to see the fighter games, I'm not gonna lie. That's what I
can't
grew up
read
doing.
That. Right?
Oh, I can't either, yeah. Oh, isn't that Final Fantasy?
No, I was gonna say, yeah, I can't read the title, but that does look like a Final Fantasy game, yeah. It says Square down there, so I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's a Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
No,
assuming that'd be before Square and before Square Enix, when it was just Square or SquareSoft.
Hey, oh no, I can't recognize those characters.
But
there was a bunch.
Right? All the fighting ones. I played a ton of fighting games when I was younger, like in campgrounds and arcades, and I don't remember many of them. I just remember, hey, here's a handful of quarters, go. And I just any cabinet that was open.
Well, it seems to me back in the day, like there used to be a way larger selection in like the 90s and early thousands in terms of like before like Soul Calibur became the only one. Like there was the Street Fighters, there was Darkstalkers, Mortal Kombat. I don't think, has Darkstalkers done anything in the last 20 years? I don't think so.
That's the only one that I don't recognize off the top of my head. Soul Calibur, I did a lot with Soul Calibur, Street Fighter, and a lot with Mortal Kombat. But yeah, my
favorite was X-Men versus Street Fighter. You had X-Men characters and Street Fighter characters, and you can pair them up, and they could do combos. Yeah. So, yeah, it's he's drawing correlations. He's like, this is why I am the way I am.
Yeah.
I am who I am. I am who I am. Yeah.
Now I'll reverse question to you, Debbie.
Yeah.
What games, like, what were your earliest games that you think shaped your love of gaming, or like just shaped you?
Oh, the first RPG I ever played was the original Dragon Warrior for North America, Dragon Quest in Japan. That game shaped me because that was like, I think it was the first RPG we ever had in North America. And you're traveling through like your pixel guy on the screen, and every time you cross over a bridge, the enemies get exponentially harder. And so it taught me like, okay, be careful when venturing into the unknown, like stay back and grind before you progress. That shaped me as a gamer. And when you died in that game, the screen went black and there was just the text on the screen, "Thou art dead." That was it. Like no like sad music or do you want to try again? It was just like, you're dead.
Yeah.
Like, okay. That shaped me. Prior to that, I played something called the ColecoVision, which might be dating me a whole lot because most people don't even know what this thing is. It had controllers that looked like a telephone. It had like a joystick. I'll see if I can pull up a picture here when I take a pause and you guys can take a look at it. But I played the Smurfs a lot on that. I played Q*bert on that. And we're talking like I was like 4 years old when I was playing Q*bert. Because this was before the Nintendo even came out. Yeah. What about you? What are some of your earliest games?
That's awesome. Yeah, my and the Nintendo was my first console. And again, like kind of similar thing for me, the Nintendo came out. I was under the age of 6 when I started playing, because I have 4 older sisters, so of course my parents would buy them for my sisters, and they're like, we don't like games, and I'm just glued. I'm like the little kid that's like suction cup to the screen. And Zelda. Was it called The Legend of Zelda, or was it just Zelda? I don't even remember. The first Zelda was like my first love. It was like my first like, what is this? Like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm dying immensely, but like this is cool and fun. And then after that, I had a Nintendo 64 and I played some games on there, but really the Sega Genesis was like kind of the tipping point for me, which was where I found Mortal Kombat 3, to which I held tournaments when I was in middle school and high school. I tried getting as many friends together to come over my house and to battle in Mortal Kombat. And then also Golden Axe. That game was like one of the first side scrollers I did that was it felt different than like the Nintendo ones. And like between Golden Axe and Streets of Rage and like, just that's where I learned like these games don't really pause. Like you have to grind it. Like this is, you don't just like, oh, I'm gonna play it tomorrow. Like it's you need to like dedicate the hours. And I think that's where like my addiction and the bug really like sat in for games for me early on.
Awesome. Yeah, so on screen right now, that is a ColecoVision controller. That is the first controller I ever had as a gamer.
That is neat.
I don't know what to tell you.
No, is that a joystick that you move around, or is it like a spinny knob?
Yeah. The knob on it, that is a joystick. And then the two gray things on the side, those are like triggers. Yeah. And then the number pad.
Origin stories.
Origin stories. Yeah. So it was nice getting to see Yoshi P's origin story. I think it's been a while since we've seen him share. And it feels like he's back. It might be premature to say, but when I woke up the next morning after last week's podcast and I saw the message from him, and then after this weekend with his booth and people interacting with him and being present and being there, it feels like he's back.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat as you, where I don't want to get overly excited, but it was exciting to see. And I think that kind of environment too, like him being kind of asked I'm assuming he got like asked to be like a guest, like the keynote speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Like that must have been such a low pressure thing for him where he could kind of like come back into like the light and like just talk about, you know, they're just asking him to talk about himself and about like him and what he loves. And so it's like, I feel like this is the first thing in a while that he's done publicly where it's like it's so low pressure. Like literally it's just get on stage and be you versus get on stage and represent this. Get on stage and talk about this. Get on stage and, you know, it's like, hey, just go up and speak from the heart and speak to your story. And like it was really nice seeing the energy, like the good energy that looks like it came out of Anime Expo. So like you, try not to get too excited, but it does feel like he's getting some of his, you know, oomph back.
Yeah. I mean, he is the heart of the community. It's the point in which everyone has rallied around since the beginning. And I feel like not only has the dev team, not only has the creative business unit, not only has Square Enix been kind of lost without his focus, but I think the community has been as well. And wherever Yoshi P is, you don't see the negativity, you don't see the hate, you don't see the complaints, you don't see that side of it with him. It's only in the absence of his light you see that sort of darkness, you know? And it's not that he's ever discouraged us from speaking our mind, but he commands a respect, and the dialogue you have with him, even if it is constructive, is never disrespectful. He's that person. So just glad to have him back, I guess. Maybe I'm waxing nostalgic, but just glad to feel like he's back.
You're not alone, because I'm in the same boat. I think too, being around the community for so long, like you notice when a major key point is missing, or you know, like when it's like not that he's missing, like oh my god he's leaving or he's not doing anything, because clearly the man works more than he should, but you know, like it's felt like there's been kind of a gap, so this was like a nice week to break from that for a bit, and hopefully it just continues at a healthy pace. You know, we're not going to be like One Piece and try to put him into cardiac arrest or something.
So, I mean, I look forward to seeing some of his other passions appear in the game, or rather, now that he's said it, kind of Easter egg hunting through what we get to be all like, hey, we see what you did there. Yeah. That's kind of it. So going into next week, what we were looking at is, of course, the Moogle Tome event, and the marking point of being exactly 1 month out from 7.3. So what are you going to be up to?
This week is a bit of, these next 2 weeks are kind of a bit chaotic for me. So this week I am trying to do some more M8S. Oh my gosh, no more pandemonium, please. M8S progging. No more pandemonium. M8S progging. We got to phase 2 finally, so we're trying to continue our journey through phase 2. I got into DSR a little bit more, so this weekend we'll be doing some ultimate learning. And then besides that, I am prepping for TennoCon with some Warframe game time, so I will be attending TennoCon in person next week in good old beautiful London, Ontario, so I'm getting some time dipping my toes into there, and also Mecha Break, so it is a busy week. How about you, Debbie?
So for anyone who doesn't know, like myself, what is TennoCon?
TennoCon is a convention specifically for Warframe and technically for Soulframe. So Digital Extremes, their major game is Warframe. It's a free-to-play third-person shooter. Not just shooter, you get like frames that have all their unique abilities. And it's a fun game. I that was my first obsession in online gaming before Final Fantasy XIV. So I kind of broke up with it to play 14, but I've kind of had some small stints left, and certain life circumstances has landed me back into the realm of Warframe. So I'm heading there in person next week, which means I'm trying to catch up, play a little catch up.
Okay. So I hope that goes really well.
It'll be a lot of fun. It's a 2-day convention, and they do everything from like dev panels to they're doing like a concert. It's their 10th year doing this convention, so there's going to be giveaways and like all things all surrounding the Warframe community, which I think will be really fun and exciting.
Okay. I mean, is chat working tonight?
I don't know.
I'm starting to get really worried. We're at the end of the stream and haven't haven't heard from anyone. Lots of text messages. I hope everyone's having a good night. I'm just doing Moogle event this week, starting tomorrow. Okay, people are here. That's awesome. Thank you. I just needed to know that I was starting to panic, like, oh my god, is one of my settings off and people can't? It's fine. It's fine if you just don't want to. That's fine. Yeah, so Moogle event, obviously getting my PvP done kind of needs to be priority. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about PvP now. I used to be really into it, but then I stopped doing it every day and got bad at it again. And so now it's like effort, but I guess I have to. There's still like a mountain stuff I need to get.
I'm in the same boat.
But I hope the Ultimog and stuff are something really fun. Yeah. And like also doing the Moogle Tome event and not burning out, because I want to be all 473 with like the deep dungeon and the maps and stuff. Right. Okay. Anything else to say? Are we done a little bit early this week?
No, I think that's it. I think honestly, it's a busy week for me. I know, and I also need to try to get the Moogle tomes in. I would say we didn't do an official tip of the week, but this is a very blase piece of advice, which is just
I don't have an element for that. I don't have a blase piece of advice.
Pyra's blase tip of the week. If you were a busy bean like me and always having way too much on your plate, don't put off the Moogle Tome event to the last minute, because you will regret. You have many regrets. So try to chip a little bit away at it every day, maybe every other day. Do a little bit of something and keep up with your weeklies, your Ultimog, your mini mog, just because sometimes it's like, oh yeah, I have plenty of time. And then 3.5 weeks goes by and you're panicking. So start tomorrow, as silly as that sounds. It's the same thing with PvP for me. I'll try to do like after raid night most nights. I try to just get into front lines, because even if I'm like, oh, I don't want to, like it scales up. It just builds up over time. So just try to do a little bit when you can, and hopefully you'll get everything that you want.
It's a good blasé piece of advice.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like common sense, but I feel like I'm this. Everybody does it where they're just like, oh yeah, I have plenty of time, and then it's like, oh my god, it closes tomorrow. What do we do? And it's like, well, too late now.
Yeah, at least don't forget to do your weeklies, because those feel bad when you miss them. Because especially those and the Ultimog. Ultimog is like 50 in and of itself. Yeah. Like just do that right away and you're halfway to the earring already. So right. But yes. Thank you so much everyone for being here. Thank you, Pyra, for joining me as always.
Thank you. It is always a pleasure.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be back next week. Same time, same channel, with more Final Fantasy XIV news. I mean, we're gonna find something fun to talk about regardless, but I don't think there's gonna be too much news between now and 7.3. But we will be here and we'll be chatting 14 in a friendly and positive way, and we hope you will join us. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Take care, love yourself as much as you love others, and we'll see you in game. Bye.